Hello, good morning, everybody. It's nice to be here with you this morning, and I'm so excited to have my brother in the house because we have a lot to say. Let me just leave you to, introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Philip Ulubaki. I'm a practicing lawyer um, here in the city of Abuja. I am also a speaker, an author, and a mentor to a lot of young people in the city. So let's put it like that.
Okay. You're being very humble about all the things that you are. Yes, I am Nikki Adekunle, and I'm a couple therapist and a relationship coach. Um, I want to, before we start our conversation,
Okay.
I really want to put this out there. We are talking about infidelity today, and we are looking at it from the man's perspective.
All right.
And you are here today because you understand how men feel.
Yeah. Yes.
Not necessarily as someone that has
Experience.
experienced, such a thing,
Okay.
but because
Is
you
it
understand.
critical that you make that point?
Yes,
Okay.
because you understand how men
Men's
feel. Because
psychology.
yes, men's psychology, and you have worked with several people
Yeah.
that are going through such issues.
Mm.
So, I just want to ask, why is it there are feelers everywhere
Okay.
that men find it a bit more difficult to forgive infidelity
Done.
than women. Before I go into, you answering all of that, maybe I should just quickly lay a foundation.
Okay.
Today we are talking about a couple who, they are having challenges in their marriage, and I'm presently working with them. And with their permission, because of confidentiality and all of that, they asked me to do this.
Okay.
And I encourage them to do this as well, so that, they can get feelers from other people and know which of the things that they're going through is just common.
Okay.
And, what is common, and, the things that they should not take too seriously as well. Okay, so this particular couple, they got married about 6 years ago. And right now, the lady is seeking divorce.
Wow.
And that was one of the reasons why, I'm with them anyway. And so they got married, and they both had reasonably good jobs. And when, after about a few months into their marriage, the guy lost his job. And after he lost his job, he became really very, depressed. It was like the world is coming to an end and all of that. And the lady, number one, had to step in to become the sole breadwinner of the home. And, the children started coming, rent and all of that. In fact, one of the things that she said is that each time she had to pay rent and all those kind of things, the guy was always, dejected and almost like crying that, this is supposed to be my responsibility. And she's like, you are not making life easier for me. You are almost becoming unmotivated. You don't want to write other CVs. You don't want to send your CVs out and all of that. And, and the lady herself, she became very heavy-hearted and started talking to people. And, after talking to a few people, she had this particular guy, especially in her office, that gave her the listening ear and always seemed to know the right things to say and do, and became her confidant of some sort. But unfortunately, the relationship left the friendship zone, and they had an affair. And after the affair, the lady was like, let me, I'm going to stop this. They both knew it was wrong. They stopped the affair, and she just felt like, okay, before I confess, I want to make sure that the times are right and the situation is perfect. Meaning that she wanted to leave that office. She was looking for another job, or the guy leaves the office or something. And fortunately for them, the guy left, got another job. So, there's no question of each time you're going out, you're going to see him again today. And she just felt it was the perfect timing to tell her husband. And so she confessed to her husband. And fortunately for her as well, as at that time she decided she was going to confess, the husband also found another job.
Oh, great.
And so, he found another job, and she just felt perfect timing. And so she, told him and confessed. Expectedly, he was angry and all of that. But eventually, he said that they should continue with their marriage. And but it is 1 year right now. It's about
Wow.
a year now that she has confessed. But why she's seeking a divorce right now is that she said after the confession, she's not heard the last of it. Every time the guy keeps insinuating that where are you now? Oh, because we don't we don't know, or insinuating that she's a bad mother because you are spending a lot of time out there, your children are at home, and she just feels like, and she told the guy that, you know what, I cannot continue to be apologetic all my life. I'm the one that committed the offense. I'm ready to walk out of this relationship. Let me just leave. If it makes you feel better, let me leave so that, because the guy, and while they were speaking, the guy said, do you know what it costs? You are throwing this back at my face after I've forgiven you. Do you know what it costs me to forgive you? And now you're telling me that you are seeking a divorce simply because you are expecting me to do something that I'm not doing, that you don't even know that what I've done for you is huge, And so, I want us to talk about this because number one, we want them to learn, we want them to get feelers. And so please, if you're going to be commenting, we need your comments because they are going to read it afterwards. We don't want them to come online because people can easily guess who they are. But we want you to be responsible in your comments and all of that so that they can find healing. So let's go. Why do you think it's a big deal?
First of all, I would like to, like you said earlier, let me just reiterate that I won't be talking out of experience this morning, not because I've gone through it, but because I've also worked with men and I understand men's psychology to an extent. The first thing that makes it more difficult, maybe more difficult for a man to swallow infidelity from the female side, is the fact that it is easier, much more easier for a man to compartmentalize sex and intimacy in their minds. It's a man mostly, I'm not saying in all situations, but most times a man would have sex casually. A man will have sex casually and may not need romance, intimacy, may not need some form of love, in quotes, to fall in love, with the person before he can have sex with that person. It's not like this is not possible with women, so I'm just saying mostly a man is able to do that. On the other side, a woman may need some form of relationship, with the man beyond sex for it to lead to sex. And that's why if you look at porn, for instance, you look at porn, the porn industry is splattered more with short, exciting videos about the body of the woman, and just there's no relationship, and that's why you have porn or even prostitution more depicted towards the man than you have male prostitutes on the street. You have more female. I'm not sure if there are male prostitutes on the street, but
we have. You need to know.
I don't know, but you have more pronounced female prostitutes on the street because it's easier for a man to pick up somebody and just have sex. But there's a tendency for a woman's primary relationship to be destroyed if she has sex. There's a tendency that she has started having serious issues in her marriage, and unhappiness in her marriage before she goes out. Now for a man, that means a man can have a fantastic marriage, in quote. A man can have a fantastic marriage and still go out and sleep with somebody else because it's just, for him, it's casual physical attraction. It's more physiognomy than psychology. The case is not true with most women, we are all different. I wouldn't say all women. The case is not different with most women would necessarily need some form of intimacy. So when it happens, for instance, let me put it this way: if I start talking to a woman, even if I don't have sex with a woman, if I start talking to a woman, there's tendency that my wife will get a lot of problems with me enjoying the woman's relationship than even having a casual sex with a woman.
Okay, so is the bone of contention here now that because the guy finds it difficult because he keeps imagining that she must have been in a serious relationship with the guy before they got to that point? Is that the point of jealousy now?
The jealousy is there on both ends, both female and male are always jealousy. But the issue, the reason why the man himself is thinking that this woman must have gotten deep with this man emotionally
Okay.
for
This to happen.
And then there's the strong thing that his own relationship with her is already at the verge of collapse.
So
that's
it
what
feels
happened.
threatened that
Yeah.
right now
The whole relationship is even off.
my relationship with you is no longer as solid as it used to be.
Yeah.
And you have something better with somebody else. So
Yes.
that is one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. The
Okay.
secondly, ego. A man's sex for a man is egoistic. Sex for a man is like an achievement. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
A man there's a lot of connection between a man's psychology and his ability to have sex. So that's why you have a lot of drugs on stay longer, have sex longer, be a man,
Be a man longer.
all that. So if a woman start having sex with another man, it's beyond physical. It's thinking maybe he's not man enough. Maybe he's not satisfying her in the bedroom. Maybe he has found a man who is able to be man. So it's a question. We have even seen people, men who pick prostitutes on the streets and they still go and use drugs to have sex with the prostitute. I wonder, why are you trying to impress the prostitute? I've already paid her.
Okay.
Why? So there's a lot of connection between ego for a man and sexuality.
Okay.
Very strong connection.
Okay, maybe you should please walk me through that emotion that a man would feel.
Okay, so it feels
like, especially using this case as a case study, that okay, now I'm with you. You have gone and you have done your away game, and now you're back. So maybe you should just walk me through the emotions that the guy might be feeling.
Okay, the first thing that you may feel, number one, like because of the circumstances of his life when that happened, he's already at the lowest state of his mind. He's thinking he's not able to handle his family, not able to take care of his family, he's not able to provide for their needs financially. Now his wife has gone out to have sex with somebody else. So it's a double block on his head. He's not even able to do well at home. And the only crux of his sexuality, which is his sex with his wife, has been taken to someone else.
So it feels like someone that's already on the floor.
He's on the floor and is being hit more over and over.
Okay.
So it's a very difficult place for you.
But in as much as I don't want to make comparisons here, but it is difficult for everybody. So because there's a general, that general vibe out there that once a woman, airs and gets, you have an affair, just begin to pack your load, because it won't forgive you.
What I'm not supporting, people going outside.
So why is it that difficult?
It's a psychological issue.
Yeah.
Let me explain it again. And if you look at my language, I didn't say all. I'm always using most. Because there are actually women who can have sex with a man without any form of...
prostitutes, prostitutes do that easily. So
there are women that can do that. Nothing's happening. So it's not like every woman has to have an emotional attachment.
Yeah.
But the psychology of sex for a man is real for a woman. Sincerely, just let's put the point blank. Most men take sex as a strong connection. Most men are disconnected from sex.
Okay.
Emotionally. Unlike most women. So, and a man understands that if a woman goes out to have sex with someone else, there's a very strong tendency. Most women would have had a strong emotional connection and disconnection from him, was now connected to the other man. So it's, like I said, it's difficult for both parties. But it's just a psychological issue for the man.
Okay. My worry now is that, okay, let me put myself in the position of that woman. I came home by myself. I told you by myself. You didn't catch me.
Okay.
I told you by myself. Does that count for anything? That, okay, at this point, even if I felt that way initially, but right now I don't anymore.
Okay. It should count, actually. But that would take us again to handling offenses, how to handle offenses beyond sex, even other offenses within marriage.
Okay.
Couples are supposed, because they love each other, are supposed to be able to forgive each other. Supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like the word supposed.
But you can't at the same time you can't commit an offense and at the same time determine the extent of the punishment.
Okay.
That's very key.
Okay. You can't, let me echo, you can't commit an offense and now determine the punishment the extent of the punishment.
You can't do that.
Okay.
You cannot undermine my feeling. You can't do something wrong and now determine how bad I'm supposed to feel, or how bad or how long my feelings of being grieved are supposed to last. You can do that. You can do that. If I was going to go on both, of course, I'm sure they're under counseling. They're speaking to both of them. The husband needs to be spoken to, and the wife needs to be spoken to. Number one, the wife cannot determine how bad he feels. He already feels very bad.
Yeah.
She has to put up with that.
Okay.
If I lose trust, if you do something that makes me lose trust in you, you cannot demand for the trust again. You have to earn it.
Okay. So, okay, did I cut you short? Because
No.
I'm wondering if I have to earn trust and I have, number one, the act of coming to confess is an act that I think is an act of trying to earn trust.
Yeah.
And every day I apologize profusely when this happened, because initially it was difficult for the guy and the lady knew that, yes, this is, but 1 year down the line, talk to me about
yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
But people have held issues for more than 1 year. People have issues for 2 years. People's temperament, their different mental preferences. You know, people's ability to go over an offense are also different between various people. Some people, for instance, let's look at let's come back to temperament: sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic. You know, an extrovert will naturally almost look over an offense than an introvert. And that's why people who are very happy-go-lucky, even if they do something wrong for themselves, they are able to go over it, quickly, than people who are introverted. People who are introverted are naturally almost moody people. They are very, very deeply thought people, and so there's a tendency for them to ruminate and stay on issues, for longer periods. Even if they do something wrong, they don't forgive themselves easily. So people's ability to hold on to issues are very different, when you come to different people. And I think, like I said, since they're under counseling, we have to talk to both parties. I don't think the wife can be demanding. She just has to understand that even if it takes the guys 10 years, how was the one, like the popular saying, I mess up. I was one that did what's wrong. If it takes him 10 years to get it right.
10 years.
Yeah, I'm being extreme, but I want to let you know that if it takes him 10 years, you have to, that's how it has hurt him. Now, he also has to go through counseling. Somebody has to be talking to, if they have a pastor, if they have a mentor, if they have somebody who can, help talk together, you have to let this go. That's on his own end. But the wife cannot be demanding that, no, you can't be doing.
But you know that, I know that for human beings, it gets to a point where, especially, marriage dynamics now, where, one of the parties involved, you now use whatever I've done and you use it as a hold against me, and you become manipulative, and it becomes something that you use to control and manipulate me, because now you have my balls in your hands. And I think that these are the kind of conversations that we should begin to talk about. How long?
So, like I said,
yes, you are hot, but to now begin to spread what you think, becoming, even she said that he even insinuates that she's a bad mother. I do this every time judgment is hanging on my head.
She should not vex. She should not, honestly. She should not be angry. They should try and counsel the man separately from the woman and see how far they can do to help him get off this. But our ability to hold on to things are different. If it's the woman, she may be like that. There are women who have been so hurt by what their husband did, and they walked out of the mind. They couldn't forgive him. They couldn't even stay. I've dealt with divorce cases. Even as a lawyer, I've dealt with divorce cases, issues that has gone beyond counseling. Now they are just off there, and you hear the story, and the woman can't just take it, and the man can't just take it. So, like I said, the issues that we are different. Our ability to hold on to issues are different. So, if you're going to bring on religion to this, or bring on, the issue there is that people have a right to feel bad when they are hurt. Now, how long they feel bad is not determined by the person who have hurt them. The best that can happen in this situation is to counsel the husband separately and see how fast they can get him off that mood. Because the truth is that if he's so hurt and so hurt, particularly if he has not done something like that before and has stayed true to his marriage, if he has not done that before, he's going to feel betrayed, he's going to feel robbed on the ground. He already, and that's the circumstances around when the thing happened was such that he was already on the ground when that happened. So it's like putting him on the ground and rubbing his face on the floor. So I think what they can do, what she can do, is what they have done now, to come to someone like who's certified, who's professional, who can help them handle this. And then she takes the back seat. Just allow the professionals do what they can do.
Okay, you see, I'm afraid of always having a one-sided conversation. Like, I said, let us.
I'm not speaking to the man. I'm not speaking to the woman.
Okay, because really, I know that for someone to heal and for you to heal well, you need to understand the pain of. You need to understand each other's pain.
Yeah.
Because there's a tendency for couples to hold on to their own pain.
Okay.
And, be unable to see the pain of the other person.
Yeah.
So today what we are trying to do basically is for at least women out there to be able to know the pain that men go through.
Yeah.
They feel when this happens. But in as much as I want us to talk about the pain of the man, I'm also weary of having a one-sided conversation.
Okay, all the while I've always spoken to this side of the woman. I'm not even talking about the man at all.
Okay.
Because the reason why I've not spoken about the man at all is that the story started with the man who is the one who was hurt. Yes.
Is the one that is hurt,
yes.
But the woman is the one that wants a divorce as we speak.
Now, the woman is being hurt by his constant flogging of the matter.
Constant flogging
so
of the
now,
matter.
The man has to be spoken to. Love is the crux of marriage. Trust is the crux of every kind of relationship. But love is the crux of marriage. And love would forgive. Love is forgiving. I think that's the basic thing about love. Is that love is able to look over. The two holy books, like they say it, would say that love would look over the other person's offense. So the man has to be helped a lot. He has to be spoken to. I think what we can do to the man is the man should calm down first, wait. But the man has to be spoken to, and someone that they trust, someone like I said, someone like you who's helping them. You must need to take the man separately. Or if he's feeling like you don't understand what he's doing through because you're a woman, you may begin to think like that.
No. In fact, one of the reasons why we're doing this is so that they can, the lady can get feelers of how men generally feel about this. The man can get feelers of how men. But sincerely, I still want you to, in holding on to your pain, you are refusing to see the other person's pain. Usually, it is a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think that from ages past, from the time of Abraham till now, when things like this happen, a woman philanders at all, just go and pack your bag and be going.
That's true.
Because people know that,
that's it.
That's the end. The man will not forgive you. Do you think that this guy, by choosing to forgive, is a rare breed already, that this woman should begin to worship him? I think for you to forgive, say if you are a rare man.
I think that infidelity will hurt both parties, whether it's the man or the woman. Infidelity, we should never make men feel comfortable to go around doing what they want to do because they think that the woman can forgive easily. We should never paint that picture. Marriage counselors should never make it look like it's easy for a man.
That's why we're having this conversation.
We should never do that. Women are hurt when a lot of men may have come to accept it. I know when they see that popular speaking that men has come, and I tell people that I mentor and I speak to, so don't accept that term. Don't settle for less. Don't accept a man. When you're going to go into marriage, we're mentoring young people about to go into marriage. Don't accept a man that goes about, having sex with other women because you have taken in that term that men has come and men will always cheat. There are men around the world who have never cheated on their wives. We should encourage people to stay true and faithful to their marriage. We should never allow it to look like it's a common thing and that men will always do it. I've even seen people, there's a particular case I dealt with about 2 months ago. The guy, they are not married. Both of them came to me, they are not married. and the guy cheated on the lady, and the lady's elder sister. The guy's elder sister was now rebuking the lady for wanting to come out of the relationship because her younger brother cheated on her. He said, "What? Is it cheating? What's cheating? Is he not a man?" You know, and I think that's a very wrong perspective to make it look as it's a common thing for a man to go about cheating. It's a very wrong thing for anybody to go out of their marriage. So both parties will be hurt. What I'm dealing with this morning is just the psychology, the reaction, how it affects a man differently from how it affects a woman. It affects both of them. I'm just describing how it affects a man differently from a woman. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, because for me, I'm a woman and I'm trying to see through the lens of a man. So far, what you have spoken about is the ego of the man.
I've spoken about the ego of the man. I've spoken about the ego in the sense of his sexuality. And I've also spoken about the attachment that a woman most women, I have to keep using that word, most women may have before they can get to the point of having sex with someone. Is a tendency that is already unhappiness in their current marriage, which is the case in this story.
Okay.
We can't disabuse that. There was already some form of unpleasantness and unhappiness in our current relationship that gave her room to start talking to someone else who was there to listen before it led into sex.
Okay. And for me, I'm still a bit confused.
Okay.
And I need to just keep saying this so that, because this same thing happens to women as well. And it's just that we don't have ratios yet. And I'm not sure we'll ever have ratios because, men can brag about this, that I conquered several women, but women may never be able to get to that point where they come out boldly. So we may never have statistics to back this up. But I know that men easily excuse themselves by saying that, in fact, most men, by the time you catch them, you are hearing things like, "You pushed me." Because you kept saying that if I want to use my own understanding and to interpret what you're saying, like, I'm jealous of the relationship that you had with the other person. It makes me feel left out. And so right now, how am I sure that you still love me anymore? But that same thing happens to women as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that it's a bit I'm trying to look for a softer word. It's a bit not fine, not nice.
That's why I said, because I agree that there's an imbalance in this. And I said it categorically just before you came in.
Yeah.
Now that we should never encourage a situation that makes it look like men are free to go outside their
I'm not even
marriage.
talking about the freedom now.
It's the reaction.
The reaction.
The effect.
Because this same thing, a man will have an affair and will come back and beg the wife.
And the wife will accept.
And the wife will the wife will be going through this process that you have described. That means you must have been paying attention to somebody else. I can't imagine that this and this and this were happening behind my back, trying to deal with the pain of betrayal and all of that. And somebody would tell you, snap out of it. What did you do that drove him out there? You know, these conversations is becoming one-sided. And, and for me, I'm thinking, okay, now you are putting your feelings, whatever you are thinking, you're processing in your mind that is difficult for me. I'm trying to imagine the place you were before this happened. You must have really loved the guy. I'm not taking light to the pain. But what I'm saying is that women go through the same thing.
I agree with you.
And no, what I'm saying is that this society,
you see, society right now, tells
you to snap out of it.
There's a lot of imbalance between the man and the woman in society. We can't take our eyes off that. Currently, there's a tilt towards men. The society almost favors a man. But my wife and I talk about this all the time, and I used to say, look, the problem here is not even man. The problem here, I don't think, I have a lot of friends who are feminists, even in our graduates, there are people who are feminists. Well, as I say, the problem of a woman is not the man. The problem of the woman is the other woman. I told you now that this couple I was dealing with, it was the elder sister of the boy that cheated on his fiancée that was rebuking the lady for wanting to come out of the relationship because her brother cheated.
Okay.
So women even, I'm sorry I'm saying, but let me just chip this in. Women don't have enough support from women.
Okay.
I don't want to go that way. Like, that's not the crux of my thing. But a woman that cheats with another man, you know, if you have a woman cheat with another man now, it is the woman is the woman other women are cheating with other women's husbands.
And no, is it not other men that are cheating with other men's?
For
every man that cheats, there's a woman involved as well.
The statistics is very low. For instance, look at me. If I find out a girl, I'm just an example. If I find out a lady is already married, the tendency for me to say, come on, she's married, and get her. But if a woman finds out that a man is married, she doesn't have that same get out. It's still like, is he a man? It's a man. I've seen women through. So there's a lot of societal, dysfunction around the perspectives around men. I mean, I think we'll get to a point where it's getting some form of balance, but it's not balanced yet.
And that is why we're having this conversation.
It's not balanced yet.
It's not balanced yet. When a man cheats, you come back and the wife is trying to go through this same pain that this guy, not even that. The psychological effect that you're describing for a man now, that woman is trying to go through that psychological route too. She's processing things. She's trying to come to terms with things. And the society is rushing her to come to a conclusion fast. Hey, he will soon leave you. Hey, the other woman is still out there waiting in the wings. Snap out of it. And secondly, people begin to insinuate that you have done something wrong. That is why the guy is out there. I'm not saying that is your stand this morning, but I'm saying that this societal imbalance is there.
We can't disabuse our mind. But
as difficult as it is
for the man,
for the man to process. In fact, I'm not even talking about getting to the point of forgiveness yet. To process what has happened. That is the same way a woman finds it difficult.
I agree with you completely. My wife is a certified marriage coach, and I've seen her speak to a lot of couples around this. And I agree with you completely that the woman is as pained as the man is. All I was just describing is the difference in expression. I'm not saying one is bigger or one is stronger than the other.
No. I know that's not. But we have to drive this conversation.
It's very key. The society has a lot to do
with the way the man is handling it.
And parenting also has a lot to do. Honestly, parenting is very key. What do parents tell their boy children? What do they tell their male children? How do they make them feel? I'll give you an instance. For instance, when I was going to get married to my wife, my auntie, my only surviving auntie, she was like a mom to me, was even very pissed that I had just one girlfriend.
Okay, that's you are supposed to
be a man. That's my auntie. That's a woman. That's a woman telling another man to use with other women.
Yeah.
You understand? But she's also in a bad place because it's a wrong culture that she also has accepted. So the society is very much to be blamed for where that's a psychological posture we have taken around men infidelity and women infidelity. I think to a large extent we need to let people know that the cause and the effects are the same for both parties. The pain is the same for both parties. That will make a lot of men not comfortable around having sex. Spiritual leaders must emphasize it, that men must stay within the bounds of their marriage. That it will be as painful as to be a man as it is for a woman. We shouldn't make it look as if it's free. So all of us have a job to do to educate the public, let them know that this is the same for both parties. No party is more grieved or more pained than the other.
Because the irony of things for me, and one of the reasons why we are doing this as well, is for men to realize that the society plays a part in making you not forgive. And when you forgive, the society makes you believe that you are doing something that is big, huge. And you are not necessarily saving your home. You are giving grace to this offender. You are, and I think that is one of the reasons why we are having this. So that if you do that, you are saving your home, just like the woman is saving the home. If she decides,
society has to do that.
So we need, and that is why we are
Schools,
speaking to
parents
society this morning.
must do that. Yeah, I agree.
We
I agree
are
completely with you.
speaking to society this morning. The pain is real. No woman should ever get to the place where you jettison the pain of the man. No, never do that. But just as society conditions a woman to snap out of it, forgive him now.
The man.
Everybody, instead of now shaming the man, because this is about shaming men. Because the guy kept saying it, and I'm saying it again. And in fact, that was one of the things that we put out in the advert. And do you know what it costs me?
Yeah, it's because it's a society.
Do you know what it costs me? Because there's also societal pressure.
That makes the man think if he accepts, that means he's not
You're a weakling. Yeah.
I said that's why I said look at the amount of sex drugs for men that's outside there. See the amount. I was driving a filling station when the lady came, hit my, and they were hawking sexual enhancement drugs in fueling stations because there's a lot of your ability to have sex is what makes you a man. It makes you a man. So there's a lot of connection between people's ego and male, mentality with the ability to have sex. Society also has to deal with that. That a man is not connected. A man's manhood is not connected to his ability or how big his genitals is or how long he's able to last in the bedroom. We must disabuse a man's ego from his sexuality. We must do that.
And sincerely, because you just hit that point now, we need to get to a place where we disabuse the man's mind from attaching his ego to his sexuality.
It's one of the reasons why we're having this.
Yes, it's one of the reasons because, and if you choose to forgive, society should learn not to shame the man that has decided to forgive because just like a woman wants to save my home, you are also doing something to save your home. But there's one last thing that I want you to talk about. Just like, and I keep saying, let's use this case as a case study.
Okay.
People keep saying that, what did you do? Once something happens, the next thing is that somebody is asking you, what did you do that chased him out? Is there ever any justification? Is that you can, that would push a woman to this point?
Okay, so let me talk about justifications. I don't want to sound religious.
Yeah.
Number one, there is no justification for two people who are in love with each other, who have taken their marital vows. There's absolutely no justification for either the woman or the man to go out of their marriage boundaries. There's no justification. And we should never, society has to learn not to make the woman feel responsible for the male's infidelity.
Okay.
Everybody is responsible and should bear the consequences of their wrong. Nobody should be held responsible. Now, people could say, what if she's not having sex with him? What if he's not? And I'll say, look, you would have said the same thing if the man was not the one who's having. There's a lot of women who are more, sexually, they have high sexual prowess than their husbands. And the husband is not satisfying them. And everybody say, you have to still manage him. People don't understand why they need to go outside. They will quickly give them an excuse. Okay, our husband was not satisfying.
No. For this particular case that you just raised now, even if the man is not satisfying the woman, and the woman says that, okay, can we use
sex toys?
You are there with me. I'm not doing it behind your back. The guy still feels, and I'm saying that because it's a male-dominated world, especially in Africa.
Sex. We are coming back. There's a strong connection between a man's sexuality and his ego, and it was society that planted it. Look, if you watch porn, you see strong, heavily bodied men, hefty, with big private parts or big genitals, and dominating a woman. You can see like 5 men over a woman, or one man with 5 women. I know you have all those sins they have, but it's all about a man is strong. A man's strength is determined by his performance in the bedroom. There's a lot of disconnection. There's a lot of work that we need to do in that area. There's a lot of work, And that is why men don't take sex very, very casual. They think it's I don't know.
No. They take it casual when they are the ones that are
Doing it.
philandering.
But they
But when your wife now does it,
Yes.
it becomes and it's not casual anymore.
It's a very
even for a
terrible thing.
cheating man,
It's a very terrible thing.
and even for a cheating man, and you come and meet your wife cheating, you
Doesn't
hear
affect.
that it still feels justified that
He's a man.
that you actually went out.
It's a wrong. I blame society for that, and that's why I said this kind of program is very critical for us. To
And
go through
even
this kind of thing.
religion. You see, religion also programs a woman to believe that the responsibility of keeping your home is in your hands. And I think that it's a one-sided conversation.
I believe so.
We should begin to talk about what it costs both parties.
I believe so.
What it costs both parties
I think if
to
men,
ensure.
if men get it right, most marriages will survive.
Thank you for being that man.
Honestly, I think if men get it right, most marriages will survive. Most marriages will survive. I haven't dealt with a lot of issues like this. If men get it right, most marriages will survive. More women are working hard at keeping their marriages than women are.
Yeah.
If you go to church meetings, churches, you see women there praying for their family, praying for their husbands. You don't have meetings of men gathering somewhere, praying for their wives, praying for their. I don't know any. I've not seen any meeting. My wife must prosper, or my wife must make it. But I've seen several meetings. My husband must survive. You have more women, and it's this society making it look as if it's the crux of the woman to sustain. And that's why men think they can go out and do what they want. And
No, so far they are providing for you. In fact, dealing with infidelity, you hear things like, is he providing for your children? Yes. Is he paying rent?
Is he responsible?
Yes. But then what else do you want?
Is it responsible?
If you go home, if you divorce him, what are you going to meet in your parents' house? Nothing. So you better stay.
That's society.
And
That's society.
I think that we should begin to sincerely,
That
for me,
conversation.
the
That's
big
society.
deal this morning, and I'm happy that we are able to get there.
That's society.
Is to disabuse the society. For number one, men themselves should be able to detach by themselves. Detach your sexuality
From your ego.
Yes, you feel like you're
Call them
conquering.
2 minutes, man. Indomie man. I mean, the highest insult you can call a man.
Is it 2 minutes?
Is it even fight you? That's the highest. You tell a man, Okobo, so call it your impotent man. The moment you say that, there's no amount of money he has. That's a very area you don't want to touch. It's a terrible. We need to work on that.
And sincerely, I think that we need to get to that point where men begin to learn how to detach their ego
From their
sexuality, where society is having a more balanced conversations around this, and knowing that it hurts, just like it hurts the man, it hurts the woman as well. And also to stop shaming men. The society should stop shaming men who have decided to forgive their wives and move on. And men that choose to forgive their wives, I think they should also stop using it as a manipulative tool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the man has to be helped to and spoken to. The woman did well by coming to tell you, and that's very difficult.
Because for
It's
a
very
woman,
difficult.
a woman prides in her relationship with her
For the
husband.
woman to have come to tell him, it's a strong indication that she's very sorry. She's extremely sorry for what she did, and she's willing to make the marriage work. That's why she came. Somebody has to let the husband know that the woman is very, very sorry already. And to keep rubbing it on her face may not help issues at all.
Because she cannot continue. In as much as I think that people will feel like you are rubbing it in his face. That's a slap on his face for you to say that, for you to be demanding for his style of forgiveness. Yeah, it is true. I agree with you completely that you may not be able to determine the offense and the punishment. But at the same time, I don't think she should have a death sentence hanging on her head for the rest of her life.
Okay, so where we started from, we've dealt with the issue that you can't determine an offense, determine the scope. We've also spoke about the fact that people are different in their ability to forgive, and such people that hold on to offenses, some of them don't even forgive themselves. even after offending other people. So we have mental preference. There are a lot of psychology, psychotherapy that might come into that. And then we also have come to the point of the society playing a very strong role in letting both parties understand that marriage is responsible for both parties, not just for the woman. Of course, where we have today is a male-dominated world. We have to say that, but at the same time,
it's a man's
we
world.
must understand that women have a lot of responsibility for women. I have some feminists around me, and when they talk, I just laugh. I just really laugh. My wife just gave birth. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
She said
The newest dad.
She said she wouldn't even allow a female doctor treat her because of the way women treat women, because of the way women see women. That she had a boss in the office is a man, and the boss told her to go, and not resume until she feels comfortable to. Say you will never find a woman. She is he not pregnant? You are pregnant. What is there? So women too now must learn to begin to support. This is where I'm coming. Support women.
Women supporting women.
Women must, because the fight for feminism is not just on the men's side. The women too must learn how to begin to lend helping hands and help. If you have issues around gossip, around backbiting, and you start it's still around that gender. They say it's gender. So please, we have come from the point of that. Then where we are ending is that both of them, just like they're under your counseling, must come to a place and find out to make the marriage work from both ends. The man has to forgive. The man has to forgive.
Okay.
I don't feel like he did a great thing.
Yes, it's not a superstar for wanting to forgive. You are saving your home. You are
just
investing
as the woman.
just
How many
as
kids
much.
do they have?
It will be for people that know.
Okay.
That's too much information. They'll begin to calculate who are these people. But we are trying to keep it. We are trying to wrap it in secrecy as much as possible. But I just want them to be able to learn from this.
I'm sure our viewers too have made comments that will be very helpful.
Yes. We have some comments here. Even though some people feel like, what did you say there? It's not, that is not just somebody attacked you and said that. It's not the problem of the woman is not just the other woman. That it is she's facing betrayal, which I think you balanced.
Yes, I understand that. I'm okay with the conversation. I've had them over and over, so I'm okay.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, let's try as much as possible to stop these double standards when it comes to men forgiving infidelity and women forgiving infidelity. Infidelity is betrayal, and it hurts both parties. Yeah. And I think that maybe just in 1 minute, because of our time, what do you think what is the way forward? What do you think? You have said it severally.
If I'm going to talk to the guy, one-on-one, I'm going to let him know that number one, for that woman to have come. If I'm going to talk to the guy, number one, for the woman to have come to meet you, she's extremely sorry. She's very pained that she's willing to make it work. She loves her marriage and she's willing to make it work. And two, you have a responsibility to, not because you are a man, but because you're also a partner in that marriage, to make it work. And so forgiving now, particularly because she came, particularly.
He has forgiven
So,
in quotes.
but if you keep bringing it up, it also means that there's still a part of it that's not let go completely. So you have to win yourself of that. You have to let yourself know that, look, you can't continue like this. I know you are pained. You may be listening to this now. I know you are pained. You are really pained. But I'm telling you, as a man to man now, I don't want you to feel like it's what would people think? What all those thoughts of what would my father accept this kind of rubbish with all those things. You have to get your mind off it. That's nothing to do with your sexuality. It's not going to do with your ego. It's something that happened because of the wrong, unpleasant circumstances around the marriage at that time. That's not who she is. That's not who that woman is.
Yeah.
That's not who she is. She's not that woman. She's not a prostitute. She's not on the streets. She's not a bad mother. It happened because circumstances around, that time triggered it. I'm not saying that I'm not saying she's not responsible, for it, and she just forgive her. I know she did wrong, and she has admitted that she did wrong, so I think you should find a place in your heart today to let it go completely. You may cry, you may feel bad, but let completely forgive this woman for the sake of the love that you claim to have for her, and for the future of your children, which is very, very critical to at this time.
Okay. For me, I would want to say that even though we still, this is just a part of the conversation. We are going to be discussing this in bits, so that we get a well-rounded view of the entire thing. So for me today, I want to say that for guys out there that your wives have had an affair, I think that you should put in if you choose to forgive, please forgive. Stop using it as a manipulative weapon. For that, I think because women who generally love their homes, they don't want to let it go, and they are the ones that with pride in in our families, and for her to get to the point that she's willing to get a divorce, it means that she must have been feeling taunted. And I feel like, please, for men, let's stop attaching this to our ego. It is beyond ego.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And for women,
notice.
and for women out there, I think that we should stop jettisoning the pain of men when it comes to, it is real. The pain is real for a man. It is, especially for the guy that couldn't provide for his family at that time. And because the woman also, was providing, it was like she has taken your place. And somebody now takes the only pride left
that you have,
and now conquers your territory. So for a woman, please, I need you to know that for men it is difficult, because we are asking them to please think about it and stop attaching their ego to their sexuality. But it's huge for a man. For a man to get to the point of wanting to go ahead.
That's what society has taught him since he was a child.
And to break away from it is a new thing. He's learning those steps now. He's learning those ropes. He's not yet established in them. And so it will take time. It will take working with professionals to be able to get him to that point where he's able to, you can see that the guy is a good guy for wanting to forgive, but he just doesn't know how to go about it.
Subscribing to something like counseling already shows that he's also wanting to make it work.
Yes. But the only thing that I also just wanted him to know is that let's have a balanced view. And if you put things out there, and we would encourage people to please comment. If you have comments because I'll ask them to read all of this. I told them not to come online, but after this, they would read comments. They want, please, if you have any valuable, contribution, comments that you want to have for this, please drop it in the comment section. They will read it so that the guy can have a balanced view at least. So that if you have any healthy, we are calling for responsible commenting, please. So that,
because a marriage is hanging on this, and you can't come there and say things that will destroy.
Please,
very critical.
Just, responsible commenting. If you have anything that you want to tell people, that you want to tell them, please just drop your comments there. They will see it and they would appreciate it, so that they can have a balanced view, especially for the man. The pain is real, but we can also, work around it.
We are starting already. Programs like this will make it work. We have to keep up. Start small, but we'll get there surely.
Yes, we will slowly but surely we will get there. Men, we beg you in the name of God, detach your pride from your sexuality. 1 minute man is not a big insult. It's just
and nobody die of insult.
No, and it's just another person's reality. That guy, you lasted for 1 minute, and so on that we are going to be signing out. Thank you for listening. We are expecting your comments. Please comment responsibly, because this is other people's lives.
Someone's marriage is actually hanging on this, so you have to be very careful.
Please comment responsibly. Until we come your way next week, where we are talking about a different aspect of this same issue. Want to say bye for now. I'm Nikki Adekunle again, and it's so nice to have you.
Thank you very much,
Philip. Thank you very much for being here today. All right then, see you